What's happening, YouTube? It's your homie S.Akuma coming back to you with another video. And today's video is round 3 from the Only Game in Town's tournament held back on July 13th, a couple Saturdays ago in Somerville, New Jersey. Shout out to Eric Goodhart of Bacon Ice Cream Productions. Shout out to that team and YouTube as well. Go check out their channel. I will put a link in the description. Very cool guys. And yeah, shout out to them. So as you can see, it's 3Y Prime versus Sentinels. Mr. Dan Anthony's piloting Sentinels while I'm playing the 3Y Prime deck with Aimless over Hot Rod, seeing how that goes. But before I get into that, I would like to say it's unfortunate I had to feature the same deck twice. Round 1, I featured John Da Silva playing 3Y Prime. I was trying to hopefully be able to get 8 different decks throughout the 4 rounds that I had recorded, but with only 12 players, and of course there were 2 other content creators there, it was hard to be able to just get a variety of matches. But at least this match is different from the last 2 you've seen, so we'll see what happens. Now I will say, before we get too deep into the video, I'll do some catching up. I made a very big unfortunate mistake on my deck list, and I will talk about it here in a little bit. You guys can just watch the game as I talk about it, and you guys can clown me all you want in the comments. Go right ahead. So in my deck list, I forgot security checkpoint. I'll say it flat out. Forgot all 3. It's not like just forgot 1 or forgot 2. I forgot all 3 to put in my deck list. It's not even like the muscle memory of, okay, 3 handheld blaster, 3 security checkpoint automatically go in your deck. Writing on my deck list, like I said, I didn't even write it on my deck list, so it was just foreign to my deck in general. What it is I have 2 sets of security checkpoints, and I have about 7 or 8 decks right now. So, and I think like maybe 3 blue decks and 5 orange decks or something, or half and half or whatever. So when I'm switching those, powerful cards like Peace Through Tyrannies or security checkpoints into another deck, sometimes there is a unfortunate overlap on forgetting to switch some cards out. And then, of course, my dumb butt forgot to switch out the most important card. I think when I came home, the security checkpoints were sitting right there on top of the aerial bot deck that I had built together, when I do my shadow play. Now, yes, I did have my Shockwave deck on me, and I was contemplating playing the Shockwave deck, and I could have switched them out of there as well, but for whatever reason, it just didn't cross my mind when I was doing my deck list. It's funny, I even while I was looking through my actions, and the actions just fit way too well. I'm like, man, how am I able to fit all these actions? This just seems just way too good to be true. Even then, it didn't click. I came into the event very nonchalant, yeah, that's pretty much what it. I came very nonchalant. Not saying I didn't want to top or do well, but very laid back, just happy to be away, for the day, get off my feet, and yeah. So you will see this match without any security checkpoints. So if you're ever wondering why Aimless takes more damage than he should usually, or whatever, it's because my flips are altered by not having those security checkpoints. I think this is where I realized that I didn't have the security checkpoints either. It may have been this round or round 2, but I'm thinking you might see it here as well. I think this is where I first realized it, not round, I don't know, but we'll find out and we can laugh together. I look at my scrap pile like 5 times and I'm like, I want to flip Optimus and get back security checkpoint. Where is it? And I just never find it. And with that, let's jump into the gameplay, see what's going on here. So a couple characters have damage on them. Aimless does not, Prowl does, and looks like I think I attacked with Aimless first into Prowl. And let's see how my deck holds up. The almighty 3Y Prime deck, how it holds up against the Sentinels. So Dan draws for turn, and he's contemplating playing something, and I cannot tell what that is. That sucks that oh, okay, it looks like I'm gonna assume that's ramming speed, because I don't see a bashing shield on any of his characters, so that has to have been ramming speed, I'm gonna assume. Sorry about that. Maybe I have to readjust my some rounds. I think because of his characters, he has those characters in his scrap pile too, so I'm gonna blame it on that. Okay, no, he played press the advantage. I'm so confused. But my bashing, or maybe he did put bashing shield on the Ironhide. You just can't see it. Alright, so Ironhide looks like definitely going after Flame War after that press the advantage and KOs the Flame War. My flips, looks like I only flipped 2 blues, and those 2 blues are pretty much negated by the press the advantage. So Ironhide's attacking for I think about 11 damage and gets rid of my Flame War in quick fashion. Very unfortunate. Deciding to get back, looks like Espionage, or if I'm going to get back Espionage or not. Taking a minute here. Come on, Steph. All right. Yep. Trade arm hovercraft for espionage. And now it is my turn. So I have a tough decision here. With no weapon, at least, you know, his ion blaster or an arm hovercraft or anything. I mean, I traded arm hovercraft, so I'm hoping that I at least have a weapon in my hand this turn to possibly try and KO Ironhide. Definitely not KOing his Optimus Prime. And so he's only getting one attack on me, so let's see what I end up deciding here. Okay, so I'm not confident that I'm going to KO any character this turn, so I at least flip Prime to his stronger mode in defense, at least, and grab hiding spot. So this turn, no matter what, his Prowl is going to have to attack into the Aimless. I like hiding spot a lot. I think it's a very good card to make your force your opponent to attack. It's stronger, of course, when you just set it in your hand while it's in your hand and, you know, they never knew you had it. But flipping it back with Optimus, now they won't, you know, there's no reason for them to press the advantage. There's no reason for them to press the advantage, you know, Prowl and target Aimless next turn. Or not Aimless, I apologize. There's no reason to, you know, play like, let's say, grenade launcher, reckless charge, and go super hard into an Aimless, most likely. So, I send Prime into Ironhide, attacking for 6. He flips 2 for defense. Looks like he should be flipping 1 more for white because he flipped, or maybe I just missed it. It was off screen. Got to make sure I back the screen out. I got to take account into. I got to take account for aerial bots and Sentinels and Devastator when recording these videos, but it's all good. So Aimless, I put reflex circuits on Aimless, and what that does is when it's a blue-green armor that gives +1 defense, you can only put it on ranged characters, but when a ranged character blocks against a melee character, it gains another defense. All of the Sentinel characters are melee, so reflex circuits gains a lot of value in this matchup. So out the gate, Aimless will have 2 defense with tough 3, which is pretty strong. Now again, Dan knows he has to attack into Aimless this turn, but he's going to go for a value play this turn, so he's equipping combat commands to his Prowl. And let's see what he does here. Yep, so as soon as he attacks, I play hiding spot, and I'll call stealth on Prime. Prowl's going to attack, and let's see who he flip-flops for combat commands. He flip-flops Hot Rod, deal 1 to Prime. The less he has to deal to Prime, the better. Flip a good bit for tough. And the attack, let's see if the whole attack is blocked. Nope, he gets me for 1. Still solid though, so when we all stand, I can send Aimless in again and be pretty confident that he'll be protected, especially with that reflex circuits. But of course, Bashing Shield's a card, so I'm sure he'll find a Bashing Shield soon. He still has his Sunstreaker draw too, so combat commands gets a lot more value in blue matchups as well, though, because unless they have Vaporize or anything like that, it's a lot harder to kill a character in an you know, playing a blue deck like this anyway. So that combat commands can get probably 1 or 2 more valued attacks. We'll see. So I play Espionage, assuming I call orange. Yep, hit a press the advantage. That helps for the Aimless to not have a useless 0 defense. You know, pretty much effectively taking away the 2 from the reflex circuits on his next turn. Security console on Prime. Thinking about data bank over that card, by the way. So pretty weak turn on my part. The Espionage and Security Console, I mean, I guess it helps me, you know, a little bit. This is just a very turtle up turn, defensive turn, because he gets to get 2 attacks on me pretty soon, so I got my work cut out for me. But so far, Dan's playing really well, doing all his flips, utilizing reflips. His hand looks pretty strong. He has Erratic Lighting. He drew 1 off of Sunstreaker, Erratic Lighting, Grenade Launcher, and let's see if he has an action for the turn. He does not, but he does have Bashing Shield to get rid of the reflex circuit, so he doesn't go hard into the Prime. Gonna save some ammo for the Optimus. Although I could, because my deck is not reshuffled yet, or is that the last card in my deck? No, it's not. Okay, so I could do that same play and get back hiding spot again here. Let's see if I decide to do that. And that'd have been nice, because hiding spot, putting that on Aimless, or excuse me, putting the attacks into Aimless and having that reflex circuits would, you know, be very strong here again. Although, you know what, he does have press. Well, I got rid of press to advantage. I'll take that back. I was gonna say if he had press, that would effectively take it away again. But so let's see what I decide here. He put Optimus out there. Optimus has 3 defense and 14 health. Definitely no way Optimus is killing Prime this turn. Even if I played Leap into battle and flipped another Leap into battle, that would only be 14, and his Prime would still live. So. I think this is the play. I think this is where I realize, yeah, okay, maybe I didn't look through, I thought I looked through my scrap pile a lot more. Maybe I didn't, but I think me looking through my scrap pile a couple times was me realizing I have 1 card left in my deck, and my, you know, obviously my entire scrap pile is full, and I have no security checkpoint. So that's when I finally realized. But so I think I played Vaporize. Yep, I played Vaporize on the Static Laser of Ironhide, and then Optimus is going to go into his Optimus. I flip a Plasma Burst, which is semi-solid, because it's not going to KO a character. That's one of the things that's so powerful about Optimus, to be able to flip a direct damage card and blast the character that it's not attacking and killing it as well. So I flip 2, flip Reflex Circus and Plasma Burst. So of course I'm going to use the Plasma Burst. Let's see who I decide to put it on. I decided to Plasma Burst the Prowl, and unfortunately that Plasma Burst still doesn't even put the Prowl in 1 shall stand range. So, but I do get a sizable bit of damage on Prime. Trade the bigger they are for the Reflex Circuits. But I did not go for the hiding spot play this turn, and I think this was a misplay on my part. I think I should have, if I had that sparring gear, I should have flipped Prime, got back hiding spot again, and put sparring gear on Aimless, and I think that would have been really strong, because I could have possibly survived both of those attacks from his characters, because the hiding spot gives my Prime stealth. So it's unfortunate that I made that misplay. Looking back at the game, I did it the first time. I don't know why I wouldn't do it again the second time. So learn from that, from my mistake. I think it would have definitely been better to get hiding spot there and put sparring gear on Aimless. But now I will pay for it. Got a grenade launcher on Ironhide, so Dan continues to come with the heat. And he still has that combat command. He's going to flip off Hot Rod, deal another one to Prime. He's going to attack Prime, but at first I got to draw from my security console. Do I choose to stack? I don't know. At least he didn't have Bashing Shield from a sparring gear this turn, so let's see how well I defend. Defend for 6 and his Prowl. So efficiently blocking Prowl's entire attack. So only his flips will deal damage. And it looks like a Piece to Tyranny up top there. So Piece to Tyranny, bold 1. He flips 2 more. We can't see it on screen, but we'll find out here in a second how much damage he deals. I think he deals 5 or so. Yep. Alright, so I draw for console again and then defend. Looks like I'm defending for 6 again, just about. That Ironhide attack is getting pretty big, will be pretty big rather. Put me in danger mode here. If Dan happens to have a 1 shot stand, 1 shot fall on my next turn, I am definitely in a losing position. Oh, I'm already in a losing position, but like I'm definitely down and out if he does have 1 shot stand, 1 shot fall. He still has all 3 of his bots, and my Optimus is almost dead, so not looking good for me. Keep in mind, this is now I'm not making excuses either. Dan, you busted my ass. You got me, dog. But just keep in mind that this is happening like this because I don't have security checkpoints in my deck. I think if I had security checkpoint like that turn that I looked through my scrap pile a couple of times, I would have got it and got rid of, I think, a Bashing Shield and grenade launcher from him. So it would have definitely slowed him down. So without that, that's just very unfortunate that I'm not going to be able to do that. But I'm trying to hold my own as best I can. You know, even when I realize it, you know, I could have just not played, but I mean, why? You know, I drove 2 hours away to play this tournament, so I'm definitely gonna finish it out, do the best I can. Optimus Prime recurs Plasma Burst and uses Plasma Burst again on Prime, or excuse me, on his Prowl. And I send in Aimless with that Reflex Circuits, which is strong, again, against the Sentinels, because he is all the Sentinels on the forefront of melee characters. But I unfortunately still don't kill the Prowl. The Prowl is still there, so like he's just in a very great position right now. You know, that is just solid, very solid for him. He can really use little effort on the Aimless this turn and then go all out on the Prime next turn to make sure he gets rid of Prime, because without Prime, Aimless is definitely not taking out all 3 characters. That Matrix of Leadership, though, will definitely do some work, because it spreads, since Optimus Prime is a leader, the Matrix spreads the +1 and Pierce 1 to Prowl and Ironhide. Now, Optimus doesn't get the Pierce 1, but he does get the +1 static attack, because the Matrix has, you know, +1 attack on it. So I do block the attack, but I know Dan is anticipating getting 2 big attacks with his strongest characters next turn. It would have been a little better if at least Prowl was KO'd, but unfortunately he'll be able to get 2 attacks here unless I have direct damage in my hand, and I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't even bother playing an action or an upgrade. Or, well, maybe I do. Looks like I was going to attack. Play heavy-handed, try to get a decent amount of damage on the Prime, attacking for 10. I flip Hiding Spot. Hiding Spot was actually a really good hit this time, so I'll put the Hiding Spot down on from Optimus's flip, and I also hit Matrix Leadership, which gives me an extra attack boost, so I'll be at 11 attack, Pierce 4, attacking Prime, his Prime, and I just about kill it. I don't think it's dead yet, though. Yep. Oh, I missed it by 1. That sucks. That bashing shield. Alright. Dan draws first turn, has a lot of cards in his hand, so he has a lot of options. Again, if he has one shot stand here, it's definitely over. You know, my only chance is to survive this attack and have Aimless also survive, but so Static Laser of Ironhide, and I still function. Ooh. So he's definitely going to kill Aimless this turn. Well, and actually in this situation, Hiding Spot is good, but it's only as good as me having another character. So what Dan looks like he's doing this turn is to, yep, he's going to flip-flop Hot Rod, deal 1 damage to Prime. What he's trying to do here is kill the Aimless, because once he kills the Aimless, since Prime will be the only character left on the battlefield, obviously he's the final character to be attacked. So, and with that Matrix of Leadership spreading to everybody, that's definitely going to get him closer to KOing Aimless. So will the Reflex Circuits be enough to defend off every attack? We'll see. Either way, though, even if I were to defend, you know, 7 versus 7 attack or whatever, 7 defense versus 7 attack, the Matrix will still deal Pierce 1. But looks like he did get a sizable attack, because my Aimless will die with 1 more hit. Looks like I still function Mirage back. So yeah, play the Hiding Spot on Optimus, and all attacks are going into Aimless until he is KO'd, which looks like this attack will KO him, because no matter what the attack is, the 1 Pierce 1 will KO, with the Matrix will KO Aimless. So I do get to equip it, but obviously I'll see here that he gets 2 more attacks, and I only have 1 health left. Even with the tough 2 armor, I'm definitely not going to win that game. So I scoop it up. We're going to side deck for game 2. I think I asked him here. Well, obviously he's not going to side deck any characters, but so it doesn't really matter here, like in terms of us both side decking at the same time. So yeah, kids, guys and gals and kids, don't forget your security checkpoints in your deck list. If you're playing any deck that plays, you know, the 6 starting cards of either an aggressive or defensive deck, you know, security checkpoint and handheld blaster, or Peace Through Tyranny and improvised shield, make sure you have everything that you need, because it's very easy to forget, as you can see. Especially for those of you with 1 set. I think I have 2 sets. I'm thinking about actually buying a 3rd set just so this could never happen again. I mean, I guess like it was just kind of me being irresponsible. You know, this is the first time this has ever happened since I've been playing this game. But best believe this won't happen again. So maybe I don't need to buy a third set. I might still just buy a third set just in case, you know. Because I say I'll never do it again, and a couple months later, oh, did it again. But I just thank goodness. I'm very thankful this wasn't a prelim. Thanking God that this was not a Gen-Con prelim, because then I would have really been heated. I think I can laugh about it a lot now because heated at myself, by the way. But I can laugh about it now because, you know, this was just a wake-up call that I need to stay on it. I could cut this video, make it a little shorter, but it's still going to be a long video no matter what. So no speeding up or anything like that. I'm just going to keep it as it is so you can see everything in the realm of, you know, competitive play. Again, the side decking and everything. I usually smoke screen, and smoke screening is I would take my 10 cards and then shuffle all of them into my deck and then take out 10 cards. Your opponent won't know if it's the same 10 cards. They won't know how many cards you put in. At this stage in the game, again, I've mentioned in my last video, this game is still very ABC in terms of complexity and okay, well, my opponent put in one card, so I probably think it's this card. The game's not that complex yet, I don't think, to where even if I were to see me take one card out of my deck and trade for one card of my side deck, that you will definitely know what it is. We have a good bit of cards in the card pool for you to definitely keep your opponent guessing. And we're on wave 3 now with the secret actions and everything. But I just do it normal, take out a couple cards, put in a couple cards. But at Gen-Con, as long as I don't get lazy about it, I will probably be smoke screening. All right, let's go ahead, game 2. So I think I start this game. Oh no, I had him start, okay. I think at this point, to be honest with you, I think it's correct to for sure always start, especially with this deck. Now, like the mirror match, the 3Y prime mirror match, you definitely want to go second so you can get first shot at their prime. And even then, it's not a coin flip, by the way. I see people talking about it being a coin flip and things like that. Well, it's not really a coin flip because you can definitely still win just because you're going first in the 3Y prime mirror match, and that goes for other matchups too. So don't think just because you win the dice roll that it's definitely a free win. Now, you could probably almost say that for Insecticons because, them versus any other orange deck that has less characters in them is almost a guaranteed win. It's a very definitely a very high chance. But I think I was experimenting here because at this point I knew I would most likely lose this match because, not having security checkpoints, not only not having that powerful card to be able to check your opponent's hand and, get rid of their upgrades, I didn't have it on my defensive flips. And, this is a heavy blue deck, so I think I had him go first just to see what would happen at this point. This was just a test for me to see what would happen, like going into Gen-Con. Now, of course, the results will be a little skewed because, again, I don't have the security checkpoints, but overall, you should definitely don't let this fool you into thinking that you should go second against Sentinels with 3Y prime. You definitely want to protect your Optimus as long as possible, and even Flame War. Flip Flame War and attack with Aimless, send him out there first. Of course, a very strong opening play. Because now my Flame War already is in one-shot stand range, so as soon as he draws one, my Flame War is out of there. Plays Treasure Hunt. We don't see what he gets, but we will see, I'm sure, throughout the game as he plays them. Matrix Leadership, great card versus blue decks. And he sends the Prime in to the Aimless, not really expecting to do any damage. Aimless has tough 4 right now, so most likely dealing no damage. And I'm sure Dan is fine with that. I still function in his hand, looks like. Trades Reckless Charge for probably Spark or what's it called? Press the Advantage. Press the Advantage is better versus especially versus Decepticon cards, Decepticon characters, than playing Reckless Charge. Is effectively pretty much the same thing. Play Espionage, most likely calling green or orange. He got a green card back. I could probably call green just to try to possibly hit, you know, espionage out of his hand, or if not, I'll just still get rid of the card that was orange-green. And I think I only did that because I know he got back a green card. So I call green just to have a variety of more possible options to take out of his hand. Calling orange just makes me, like, if he had espionage and press the advantage in his hand and I wanted to get rid of his espionage for whatever reason, I need to call green. If I call orange, I'm only able to get rid of press the advantage. Now, I'd probably always, of course, get rid of press the advantage, but small detail. So let's trigger flip, draw a card. So he has one more attack here, so my Prime will be able to get free range with any of his characters next turn, and Prowl is looking like the target because he's the easiest to KO, most likely. Okay, press the advantage on Ironhide, targeting Flame War. Probably gonna kill Flame War here this turn. Yep, she's out of there. No, try to stand, but don't stand yet. My Prime still gets an attack. So let's see how well I can load up Prime this turn. Unfortunately, don't have anything on him, so gonna have to be careful what I prioritize putting on him, because unless I have hiding spot to force an attack into Aimless, I'm going to need to play Reflex Circuits or Sparring Gear this turn over Ion Blaster. Because playing a Sparring Gear, Optimus can still kill Prowl. Optimus can kill Prowl right now just by swinging. Optimus can't kill Ironhide without, well, he has 3 damage on him, -6. Yeah, still, the Ironhide would live by 1, so I'd have to hope to flip a attack boosting card. And I don't know if I want to gamble on that right now. I don't even know if I'm going to keep him in bot mode. Okay, so I do have the Sparring Gear, and I'm going to see how, if I can get any actions off my flips. I don't think I get anything. Yeah, it looks like I can't tell with Arm Hovercraft and something. I don't think I get an action, unfortunately. Or maybe I do. Maybe I do, because there's no other way that makes sense. Because his Ironhide is dead. The Ironhide kind of looks like it's still in the field, but you can see it's kind of in the back behind Prime and the Prowl. So I do get the KO on the Ironhide. I must have hit heavy-handed, I'm gonna assume. I just didn't point to it or anything. And that was a gamble on my part. I could have took out the Prowl, but taking out the Prowl would easily flip and get rid of Aimless's Laser Cutlass. So that's why I didn't attack Prowl. Bastion Shield gets rid of the Sparring Gear. So now Prime is wide open, but he does have full health, so shouldn't be taking too much damage this turn. He already played his upgrade, so no Erratic Lightning or Grenade Launcher. Press the advantage. He targets Aimless, but he just gets the +2 on Prowl, and he's actually still going after Optimus Prime. So I flip Hiding Spot and another card, so hopefully that's at least a blue, so I have 3 defense, but Prowl is getting in there for a good bit of damage. Wow, gets in there for 7. Pretty good hit. I draw for my turn. Looks like I'm working with about 2 cards, but Prime will be able to get me back in action from my scrap pile. Absolutely no reason to not flip Prime this turn to get back in action to help Flame War out, or Aimless out. He's deciding something here. I think he's recalculating the attack. I think he might have had 12 attack or something like that, if I recall correctly. He must have, I think he missed the Matrix attack boost. Yep, that's what it was. Okay, so another 1. Yay. Yep, I do flip Prime back. And let's see what I grab. I grab the bigger they are, so big attack coming for Aimless this turn into the Prowl. Definitely going to KO that Prowl with Pierce. The bigger they are makes it 4, 6 Pierce 6. And that's just enough to get rid of Prowl. No upgrade play though this turn. I think here in a bit I asked him to move his characters back because it's kind of confusing. I know the characters are KO'd, but still kind of he has this, you know. That's why I used to like those slider character cases I had, but they just take up way too much space. So just fold the characters in half. Get 2 copies of them if you plan on combining. Yeah, I think I adjust the camera here too. It's a little better. See more of the field. I apologize for that, not having that ready and correct the first time. Watch is probably like no better. Also, the beginning intro and my outro I dimmed down by 50%. So I've had a couple of people talk to me or comment in the comment section of a couple of my videos saying that my music's too loud. Let me know if that's better for you guys, for your ears. Don't want to blow up any ears. But yeah, I turned it down by 50%, so hopefully that's enough. If not, sorry for you. It's like I'm joking, but you guys should be good now. Alright, so KOing the Prowl means that Optimus has to go into my Aimless and let's see how much damage he can get in. Gets in there for 8. Aimless defends for... Oh wow, that's pretty big. So I must have not hit that many blue at all. So as you can see, the Aimless has 8 damage on it, which means it would be KO'd. But in my head, I knew he had 1 more health left, but I put 8 down for whatever reason by accident. Or not 8. Okay, so I'm missing 2 there, or 1 there rather. Still, don't know what I was thinking about. Don't mind me. Oh no, it was 2. So I don't know what the heck happened there. I'm tripping. So looking at the board state, I put a sparring gear. Sparring gear is pretty strong, so even if when we stand, the Optimus Prime still hopefully won't be able to kill my Prime. I still have a decent amount of health left. So I flipped, looks like I flipped in action here, but I can't tell what it is, unfortunately. Maybe I need to start putting my flips more towards the middle of the screen so it'll be able to easier tell when I do this commentary. But get some damage on his Prime. It probably was attack boosting action. I'm gonna assume, yeah, because it's 7. 10 minus the 3 is 7 damage, which you put on him. So it had to have been the bigger they are or heavy-handed that I flipped. So the Prime has a tough decision here this turn. He needs to possibly get rid of Aimless, but it might be tough because of Aimless is tough. See what I did there? He does have his Hot Rod flip though. Because if he doesn't KO any of my characters this turn, I get 2 attacks on his Prime. Deals 1 to Optimus, putting him at 9 damage. All I can see is the I still function, a couple of orange cards. Okay, so he plays the I still function this turn, brings out Prowl. Definitely a stronger attacker than Prime. He's going to attack into Optimus. Bold 1 versus my tough 2. Let's see how Prime holds up. So playing the I still function this turn, what that did was force me to only be able to have 1 attack. If he were to attack with the Prime, then I would get 2 attacks because he's tapped out. But playing the I still function means that he can tap the character that he played I still function on, the Prowl, and then his Prime is still untapped, which means I only get 1 attack instead of 2 attacks. So good play by Dan to keep him in the game longer. Yeah, ISF isn't all about getting it out, getting out a character to get multiple attacks on your opponent's tap bots. Sometimes it's a little tricky. Sometimes you might use I still function. You know, you might have 2 untapped bots and you ISF out, you know, a character and attack with it, and then now your opponent had 1 tapped bot. You attack into it with the ISF character, and then now they have to attack one of your untapped characters with their last character, and then you get 2 attacks on their characters now that way. Fixing up the damage here a little bit. Optimus is on his last leg. 1 more damage and he's out. Gonna do flip him back, get back Plasma Burst. See it vaporize. Of course, I have the Plasma Burst in my hand. Was gonna play Reflex Circuit. Imagine if he Photon Bombed me next turn. Tight. Got some decision making going on here. We're doing good for time though, so. Okay, no, we're not. We're only in game 2 and it's 36 minutes in the round, but move it along. We're not really, neither of us are slow playing. So I do play the Plasma Burst on Prime. Probably gonna send Aimless in. I think I'm contemplating if he has, because if he has combat commands just ruins me because he can flip flop Hot Rod, deal 1 to Optimus, killing Optimus. So I think that's what took me so long to debate if I'm really gonna send Prime in or not. But I gamble here and send Aimless into Prime. So he pretty much needs, one shot stand doesn't help him this turn. He needs combat commands to kill Prime and then also kill Aimless to win the game right here. He does have an option to flip Prowl to KO or to scrap my Laser Cutlass. And he also has Ironhide as an option to give Guaranteed Pierce 2 to kill my Aimless as well. Okay, so he knows he can't win, so we end up going to game 3. Would you look at that? I won a game without security checkpoint. Not taking anything away from Dan though. By the way, again, Dan, if you're watching this, man, props to you, man. You played well. I think I played you before, didn't you? Didn't you play Metroplex a couple tournaments ago at Top Deck Games? I think we played, and I think I was playing Sentinels. Good times. Do some side decking, get prepared for game 3. We're not doing too bad for time. We're about 37 minutes in, so we still got about 13 minutes before the last round. Now, if you look at the math, I mean, if you even just split it in half, it took us about 18 minutes for game 1 and 2. So if it were to take us 18 minutes or so for game 3, we would definitely go into time and have a draw. Well, after, you know, all the procedures or whatever to try to find a winner. Otherwise, hopefully we can speed up and get this round done in a timely manner. Thorough shuffling. Alright, game 3. So he gets to choose who goes first. Let's see what happens. He'll probably have himself go first. Even though he had me, he saw that I had him go first. Game 2, I think Sentinels, I won't say for the most part, but in this matchup for the most part anyway, probably want to go first. Yep, he's drawing 4, so he's going first. Alright, flips Mirage. I have 3 actions in hand, so he has a lot of choices. Heavy-handed, the bigger they are, or Infiltrate. So that's unfortunate for me. Infiltrate, now that I look at this, you know, outside looking in now, Infiltrate's a lot weaker in the Sentinel matchup because when they get to see your hand, they know you have it. So when you do go to set a secret action, they're going to most likely try to play a non-orange action that turn. So something to keep in mind. Something to definitely keep in mind. Or even orange decks that play Espionage. Pretty much this one. But like if you ever run into an orange deck that's playing, then they play Espionage more than once, you know, game 1 or 2. It's like, is Infiltrate that good now? Definitely relevant. And that's an advantage for the Sentinel player to be able to see that. Now he saw me set it, so he clearly knows that it's, I mean, there's a chance that I top deck, you know, Dampening Field or, you know, another secret action, but I mean, come on, it's probably Infiltrate He does just that. He plays around it. Now, oh, well, would you look at that? That's it. I'm tricking myself. I forgot what happened. That's exactly what happened. So I drew another secret action and I set it. So it could be battlefield report. I tried to fake him out. But now that he espionaged me, now he sees the infiltrate in my hand, so he knows it's probably not infiltrate. There is a chance it still is infiltrate, but either way, well, I don't say a chance it is infiltrate, but okay, so a battlefield report. I ended up flipping battlefield report. I almost confused myself there for a second. Don't mind me. And I failed to mention, if you guys look, my Prime has 7 damage on it already. So he went first, and I think I got a nice big attack on my Prime. So that's not good. Not good at all. Optimus. As I'm shuffling, I do see at least a sparring gear in my hand. But since Prime isn't attacking this turn, I played an arm hovercraft. Something to think about with sparring gear, something I see people do when they play Optimus Prime Blue decks is, like, let's say, now our armor hovercraft seem like, you know, okay play there, but especially your armor, I almost never play sparring gear on my Prime until I attack with him. If I were to play sparring gear this turn, that gives him an opportunity to use Bashing Shield here, and then on my next turn, if I don't have another armor, then he's able to play a powerful weapon or whatever, and then really go in on my Prime. So I like to only play the sparring gear on the turn I'm attacking with Optimus. That way, if they don't have Bashing Shield that turn, my sparring gear sticks and I'll be able to defend well and go from there. Same with Bashing Shield on the other side. If I were to play sparring gear on that turn, I wouldn't play the Bashing Shield as the heavy orange player until you're attacking the character that you're going to attack for the turn. I just said that twice, redundancy. But yeah, so the reason why you want to do, like, let's say I play sparring gear on Optimus, not attacking with Optimus, you know, you go for your turn, you play Bashing Shield on that sparring gear. Well, if I do draw another armor and play it, and you don't have another Bashing Shield, then now my armor sticks, and then, you know, I'm able to defend better than I should be. So only play the Bashing Shield on your character when you're going to attack the character that you got rid of the armor from that turn. So now Optimus gets free range at any character this turn. Flipping Optimus to get back in action is probably the most ideal play because I will at least be able to KO Prowl, even in Prime's alt mode. And killing Prowl here and then Prowl flipping next turn to kill my arm hovercraft on Aimless, I don't care about. So if he were to do that play, that would be a waste, and I don't think he will. So let's see what line of action I take here. One shot stand, one shot fall. 3 on Aimless. And 3 on Ironhide. Okay, I do have sparring gear, and this is what I was talking about. Playing sparring gear only on the turn you're attacking. And Prime in bot mode is going to try to get lucky and flip some actions here. Can't see what I flipped, but see if I can tell. Touching Aimless, I don't know why. Twirling Aimless. Must be another one shot stand, one shot fall. And I attacked Ironhide, but I failed to KO it, unfortunately. So I don't know what my thought process was right there. Don't mind me. trying to think why I did that. Don't know. Can't even. I actually don't have an explanation for you on this one. Tried to KO Ironhide. I don't know. That was a weird one. So yeah, don't do that play. Whatever I just did, don't do that. One shot stand, one shot fall. His prime has a lot of health left, so 3 on my prime. If he has another one next turn, I'm definitely done. Well, prime's definitely done. Things are looking really good for Dan. Flips Hot Rod back to his alt blow, which is very strong because my Flame Ward will die to the Hot Rod. I'm hoping I'm aware of that so I can at least get an attack with it, but okay, ooh. Hold the phone. None of that matters right now. Prowl just KO'd Prime right there, even with tough 3. So definitely not looking good for me right here. Reflex circuits, set a secret action. I don't have any cards in hand now. Aimless attacks Prowl. Can I kill the Prowl? I do KO it. So I gotta say, with no security checkpoints on my deck, I still kind of, you know, managed to hold my own. So it's like, kind of makes me look at the game in a different light that I really shouldn't have to look in. But I mean, hey, these games are usually always close. I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh man, that was close, really close game." You'll probably never hear me say that personally, but it's kind of like a pet peeve. But I mean, I get over it. It's not a big deal. I don't get mad or anything. But people always say, "Yeah, that game was close." Most games are. Most games should be close. And I'm just honestly surprised to see that this is still closer than I really thought it should be. I mean, my best character is gone, so is it really close? Probably not. But in terms of looking at the damage and, you know, how the game is playing out. But as you can see, this turn I really get dismantled. Direct damage, and then the, yeah, Hot Rod kills my Flame War. And now it's Aimless versus a very healthy Prime and on his last leg Ironhide, but he's still in a good position. So some quick closing thoughts for the match. Shout out to Dan again for being a a great pilot of this deck today, and he actually ended up top 4ing as well, by the way. So maybe I can try to get in touch with him to get the deck list if anybody cares to see it. And I will catch you guys in my next video, and I appreciate you guys for being here as usual. If you're catching this video at day or night, whenever you happen to be, I appreciate you guys for being here as usual, and I will catch you guys when I post my round 4 video coming very soon. Alright guys, this is S. Akuma heading out. Peace.